So Trump's right-hand man, Stephen Miller, who rumor has it is also called President Miller by West Wing staff, had a software glitch live on CNN this week. And by glitch, I mean he basically froze live on camera like an old Windows computer, begging for a reboot after he dropped the phrase plenary authority, which in legalese basically means the president can do whatever he wants, no questions asked. Before we unpack this shit, please make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you'll be the first to know when we post. This is Pragmotiv News, and I'm Trey. So here's the video.
Joining us, by the way, you've called the district judge's ruling blocking the deployment of National Guard in Oregon legal insurrection. Does the administration still plan to abide by that ruling?
Well, the administration filed an appeal this morning with the Ninth Circuit. I would note the administration won an identical case in the Ninth Circuit just a few months ago with respect to the federalizing of the California National Guard. Under Title 10 of the U.S. Code, the president has plenary authority.
Stephen? Stephen? Hey, Stephen, can you hear me? It seemed, Stephen, I apologize. It seems like we're having a technical issue.
Now, did y'all peep how this motherfucker tried to pretend the camera froze, but was still blinking and moving? I mean, if you gonna do that, then at least give it some effort. I told y'all, none of them in that administration know how to criminal write. So then CNN made it worse, of course, by trying to edit this out. This is the clip that they posted to social media.
Administration still plans to abide by that judge's order restricting any National Guard troops from being sent to Oregon.
Well, the administration will abide by the ruling insofar as it affects the covered parties, but there are also many other options the president has to deploy federal resources and assets out of the U.S. military to Portland. But I was making the point that under federal law, Section Title 10 of the U.S. Code, the president has the authority anytime he believes federal resources are insufficient to federalize the National Guard to carry out a mission necessary for public safety.
Y'all, this is yet another example of mainstream media dropping the fucking ball. They need to be highlighting these types of things, not trying to cover them up. They're covering up what ICE is really doing across the country. They're not reporting on the cost increases Trump's tariffs have caused. They're not tracking the spread of disease and highlighting the efforts that this administration is taking to make it impossible to get vaccinated. It really pisses me off to no end. What do these billion-dollar companies and billionaires think is going to happen to them if the country collapses? They really are playing with fire. I mean, just think about it. If the government collapses tomorrow and money is worthless, what do you think will happen? Do you think people will continue to work their mission-critical jobs like keeping the electricity and water flowing with no pay? No. Society would collapse. And I believe people like Stephen Miller want to see that happen. Total destruction. They want this to happen in hopes that they could turn the pieces of what was once the United States into an authoritarian state with them at the top. You see, I'm the first one to tell you that our current system is not perfect. But anyone who thinks we should tear it all down is completely out of touch with what that reality would bring. Now, some days I sit here, like most of us, and I am really, really concerned about all the shit that the Trump administration and all his people are doing. And don't get me wrong, we should take everything that they do seriously. But it's days like today that I'm reassured that they will not win. Good will prevail because you can't accomplish anything being incompetent. And the fact that he said the quiet part out loud in the first place is laughable, but very telling. But then for him to be unable to pivot and immediately do damage control just tells you that anything this administration does is mediocre. On top of all of that, for Stephen Miller to be that scared that he freezes live on TV, that means that they are still afraid of the backlash from us, the American people. We need to remember that, and we need to act accordingly. See, we may think protesting and calling our representatives and our senators won't work, but we have been shown time and time again, with the most recent example being the Trump versus Disney and Jimmy Kimmel debacle, is that our collective voices are very, very powerful. We need to band together and continue to use them. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and follow at Pragmotiv News everywhere to stay pragmotivated. Also, remember you can find us across all the major platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, and iHeartRadio so that you can listen to us even when you're on the go. So head on over there and give us a follow and a review. It really helps us out. Until next time, catch y'all later. Peace.